Scouts to another Scouting at Home meeting. Let's introduce our staff. Can everybody please say hi to Miss Rosie?
Everybody, can y'all say hi to Miss Monica?
Hi, and can everyone please say hi to Miss Becky?
Hello, boys and girls. Today's lesson is Cast Iron Chef. So we're going to be learning how we cook while we're camping. But first, let's start with the Scout Oath and Law.
All right, Scouts, so now it's time for our Scout Oath and our Scout Law. So can we please stand up? All right, Scout signs up. Good job. Now let's say our Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Good job. All right, now let's say our Scout Law. Ready? A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, reverent. Good job, Scouts. Now you can have a seat. All right, now on for the word of the day.
So our word for today is clean. So it says, a Scout keeps his body and mind fit. He keeps his home and community clean. So being clean, there are so many different ways of being clean. A good way of being clean is good hygiene. Okay, you have to be clean. So one good thing of hygiene is taking showers. Okay, taking showers. A lot of the times when you guys go out and you're playing and you're outside, it's hot, you're sweating, all of these things. You come home. When you go home, you're supposed to be taking your showers. Okay, if not, then you smell. You have BO. That's not what we like. Okay, so make sure you are keeping clean. You are taking showers. Right? Being clean too also means brushing your teeth. Okay, brushing your teeth is a part of good hygiene. That is being clean as well. Brush your teeth. How many times do you brush your teeth? Okay, it should be two. Your answer should be two. Once in the morning and once at night, at least. All right, that is being clean. Another way of being clean is keeping the earth clean, the place where you live clean. So if your parents are driving down the street and you have your soda and your chips, when you're done with your soda or your chips, that doesn't mean you throw the bag out onto the street. Okay, that is not being clean. That is littering. There are certain things, they are called trash cans, where you put your trash in. That's where it goes. It doesn't go on the side. A lot of times when you're driving past those streets, you can see a lot of trash on the sides. That's not what's good. Okay, you have to make sure you put them where they belong. Another way of being clean is, it says on my paper right here, he keeps his home and community clean. Keeping your home clean. So put your toys back where you found them. If your toys have a certain spot that your parents make you put them in, put them back there after you're done using them. Okay, it's very important for you to be doing that. Okay, so our word for today is clean. What is it? Awesome.
Hi, Scouts. Miss Rosie here. All right, so our lesson today is Cast Iron Chef. Okay, so Cast Iron Chef means that we learn about cooking while we camp, right? So when we go camping, we cook. I love cooking. Who else loves to cook? Who else knows how to cook? At least some stuff at home, right? Most kids, the first thing they learn is scrambled eggs. I love scrambled eggs. Guess what? We can make scrambled eggs when we go camping. I know a lot of you guys are always asking me, hey, Miss Rosie, when are we going to go camping? Miss Rosie, what do we do when we go camping? Well, guess what? One thing that I do when I go camping is cook, right? But do we just go and take everything in the fridge? No, we don't do that. Do we go and take all the pots and pans that we have from the kitchen? No, we don't do that either. What we do is that we plan our meals. We plan the supplies that we need, right? We plan how we're going to cook our meals, and then we go from there, right? So first things first, plan a meal. How do you plan a meal? Miss Rosie, I've never planned a meal before. That's okay, because guess what? That's what I'm here to show you. So when we plan our meal, we always look at, what are we gonna make? I love to cook hamburgers, especially outside on the grill, right? So today I have my 2 burners stove, and with that, we can cook our patties on our pots and pans that we have, right? So in a hamburger, what's in a hamburger? We have our buns, we have our patties, we have cheese, I love cheese. We have lettuce, tomato, if you choose to have that, We throw in some condiments like mayonnaise, mustard, or ketchup. These are all different things that we have to think about what we're gonna buy when we plan our meals, right? Because what if I said, Miss Rosie, I'd rather have bacon in my burger. Well, now we got a bacon cheeseburger, but if we don't put it in our plan, then we don't buy it. And then you're like, Miss, we don't have our bacon. Where's our bacon? We didn't plan it, so we don't have it, right? So if you want bacon, make sure you plan it in there, okay? So once we decide what our meal's gonna be, how we are going to shop for it, then we're like, all right, how are we gonna make it? So I did show you our pan. That's how we cook our meat. Our buns, we can toast our buns a little bit in a pan as well. Same thing, just a little bit, right? And then once we do that, like, Miss Rosie, I think I want some chips on the side. Great. But what do we do when we're done eating? We clean up after ourselves, right? Because a Scout is what? Clean. That's right. Everybody say clean with me. Clean. Good job. All right. So when we're cooking our meals, we got to make sure that everything's clean, because the one thing we want to do is make sure that we don't spread any bacteria around. We got to make sure our campsite is clean. And we got to make sure that when we go camping, we leave no trace behind, right? Who remembers that one? Yeah, me too, right? Okay, so let's say we're finished cooking. What are we gonna do? We're gonna wash our dishes, right? So when I eat, I usually eat on my camping plates, my camping pots and pans, right? So when I'm finished eating my burger, and I'm like, well, now I got a dirty dish. What am I do? I'm gonna grab my soap, right? Because that's the one thing I gotta do is put some soap in my pan, and then I'm gonna go ahead and clean it. And then after that, I can reuse it, because usually after we eat, at the end of the day, we have our Cracker Barrel. For those that have gone camping, that means you know what a Cracker Barrel is, right? I know, I love Cracker Barrels too. But for those that don't know, a Cracker Barrel is a dessert at the end of the day. Sometimes it's cooked in a cast iron pot. And these are what they are. They're the big pots. They are heavy. These are what we usually use to cook over a campfire, right? So what we do, my favorite thing to make in these is, can anybody think? What do you think it is? Can you guess? No? Yes? Are you sure that's what it is? I'm gonna tell you. My favorite thing to cook in here is cobbler. I don't know about you, but Scouts love their cobbler, right? So when I go camping with our older Scouts, the one thing they're like, Miss, can we have our cobbler? We want cobbler. Their favorite? Peach, right? Or they get a little creative and they're like, can we just make an apple cobbler or a cherry cobbler? Sometimes they want a blackberry cobbler, and I'm not gonna say no, because guess what? It's really, really, really good. But same thing, if we're going to plan for our cobbler, we gotta also shop for our cobblers, right? So a cobbler, what goes into a cobbler when we make it in a cast iron? Do you know? So let's say we're gonna do peach cobbler. Cobbler, then we have to shop for our peach filling, right? We usually make cobbler with our cake mix, with at least 1 box of cake mix. We make it with 3 eggs. Yep. And what else? What do you think one thing we might need when we make cobbler in a cast iron? What do you think? Okay, so the last thing I think we should have is a little bit of milk, a little bit, right? And then we try to put some foil in it. That way we keep our cast iron clean and our cobbler stays nice and pretty in the inside. Basically, it's like having a camping cake. It's really, really, really good, all right? Now, same thing, we clean our cast irons. Do we clean our cast irons the same way that we clean our pots and pans? No, all right? Cast iron is totally different when it comes to taking care of it, right? That's when we usually gotta burn it out and we gotta clean it out with some what? Oil. That's one thing that we use when we clean out our cast irons. We do not put it in dishwashing liquid, all right? Do not put it with the regular dishes because you're gonna ruin it. And if you ruin it, then we can't use it again. If we use it again, then we can't have any cobbler. And I want cobbler really bad. Another favorite that Scouts like to make in our cast irons, believe it or not, check this out. They love making pizza. That's right, pizza. You can make pizza when you go camping. Isn't that cool? I love making pizza, all right? So what do we need for pizza? We need the rolls to make for our crust. And then we need sauce, cheese, any toppings that we want. They can be vegetables, they can be little sausage balls, meatballs, right? Yeah, there's some different things that we can cook when we go camping. Does it have to be specifically small little meals? No, we can do big camping. A lot of kids that I camp out with, they love making bigger meals, right? Because they know that if we're gonna bring out our stove, that it's basically like cooking at home, right? That's one thing we can do. But our cobbler, do we make our cobbler on the stove? What do you think? Yes? No? No, we don't make it on our stove. Check it out. Cobbler is one of the coolest things to make when you put it by your fire. Yes, so to make a cobbler, you've got to get some coals and light a fire with coals. Let the coals burn, let them amber, and then once you're ready to cook your cobbler, you put your cast iron there on the side and you put the coals on top of it, okay? That way it gets heat on top and bottom because we want to make sure that it cooks everything very evenly in there so that way we have everything the way we want it. Because if it doesn't come out right, then we're like, guess not. But if it's still a little raw, that means we can still cook it a little bit longer so that way we have a good tasting cobbler, right? Love cobbler. All right, so you gotta remember, when it comes to cooking, I know you guys are Cub Scouts. Do Cub Scouts always cook other own meals? No, they don't, right? It's usually our Cub Masters or our parents. When we go camping, our parents go with us. Isn't that fun, right? So they're the ones that help cook and make our meals for us, especially when there's a lot of us and we're doing all kinds of activities. Mom and Dad always come and help us out, right? Now, when they're out there and they're cooking, what do you think are some of the main key things that we need to talk about when we go cooking and camping? You think you know? That's right. We talk about safety. Safety is one of the number one things that we have to make sure that we look into when we go camping. And especially if we're cooking around hot foods and hot stoves, right? Or fire when it comes to cooking on our fire. Safety is a number one priority out there because as long as you're safe, you know things are gonna go as planned, or they should go as planned, right? So safety, Scouts, let me ask you a couple questions and see if you know the answers to these, okay? So to start up our stoves, sometimes we use a lighter. Do Scouts use lighters? Cub Scouts, do we use lighters? No, right? Our parents use them because these are not toys, these are tools. These are some of the tools that we use when we cook. When we cook, that way the students, you guys, don't get hurt. You don't get burned, right? You want to have somebody who knows how to use it in a proper way, okay? So what else do you think we use when we go out there and cook? How about knives? Yeah, I know I use a knife. I usually use my knife right here. You'll see it, it does have a safety cover, right? Why does it have a safety cover? Because if it's in my box of dishes, I want to make sure when I go for it, that even if I might touch it by the blade, it is covered. It will be protecting my hands from the blade itself, right? You remember, Scouts don't play with knives. Knives are not a toy. They are a what? Tool. That's right, okay? Another tool that we do use, other than pots and pans, what's something else do you think we might use as a tool? Some people use grills. I don't know if you've ever seen where they put a grill on top of the fire. That's another way that we cook meals. A lot of people love to cook their silver turtles. I love silver turtles. We can put them on the grill that sits on top of the fire so that way it's easier to grab once they're finished cooking. If you don't know what a silver turtle is, look them up. I know there's a lot of great videos out there that do show how to make different types of silver turtles. What it is, it's a meal inside of a piece of foil. It's wrapped up in foil. And you put the foil wrapped up on top of your fire, or at least on top of the grill of the fire, and then you let it sit there and cook. And it's called silver turtle because when you wrap it up, it looks like a ball, and like a turtle shell, and it's silver, so silver turtles, right? Okay, so you remember when we go camping, there are safety precautions up there when it comes to cooking, especially when it comes to cleaning, because we want to stay what? Clean, because a Scout is clean, right? You want to make sure that you're using proper safety procedures. If you don't know all the safety procedures, that's okay. That's what our Scout Masters are for, to help answer questions if you have any questions, right? All right, guys, so that's our lesson for today. We learned about planning a meal. We learned about the tools that we use while cooking our meal. We also used on how to be clean when it comes to cleaning up after ourselves, right? All right, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask your Scoutmasters, all right? See you guys later. All right, now it's time for a game. Hey Scouts, Miss Rosie here along with Miss Monica. We're going to be playing something called ABC Ball, okay? If you have a ball at home, usually like a volleyball or a softball like this one we have, then you can use it to play outside. Play with your siblings, play with mom and dad, have some fun, okay? So, the object of the game is every time you hit the ball, you're going to say a letter. You're going to start with A. You're going to see how far you go. Believe it or not, this game is seriously fun. Alright? We've been laughing so hard playing this game. Alright? So let me show you how it goes. You ready? A, C, E, G. Alright, we made it to G. Let's see if we can do it further. Ready?
That was me, I did it wrong.
Oh, look at the bird. See what happens when you go outside? You see amazing animals. All right, back target. Ready? What? A. Ah! A. C. All right, we made it to C. Farthest we did was G. C. Oh. What is that? All right, last time. Ready? A. C. E. Ah! E. Scouts, see how long it takes you to get to Z, okay? So far we only made it to G. I hope you had fun watching us play. Now you guys go and have some fun and play outside and do some exercise, alright?